Good.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for court today. Before we open session, I'm going to ask Nathan, if you will, lead us in prayer, please, sir.
Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for a day that we got up and we are blessed. And how can we thank you enough for that? And as we've come to this gathering today, we ask that you bless this meeting, that we will be servants of you and of this community. That, Lord, those that are making decisions, you will guide everyone, that it'll be according to your perfect will. We ask for those hurting in the community that you be the God of peace and comfort and minister as only you can. And for our nation and our world, we believe for good, the good that only you can provide. Now we commit this time to you and believe for all manner of good coming from it. And we ask all these things in the precious name of the Savior Jesus. Amen.
Amen. We're going to call this meeting to order by saying a pledge to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for showing up today, whether it's in here or online. First order of business, approval of minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up on the agenda is Greg Meacham, going to speak to us. Little League representative, going to speak to the court. Greg, where you at? There you are.
I appreciate the time again. What I'm here for is I'm trying to get the bottom field fixed at the Little League Park. I'm wanting to start girls Little League softball. Warren County started and it was a big hit. Right now, it don't seem like that. I mean, I don't think girls has much of an organized league for softball. So I'm trying to get the bottom field fixed. The reason I want it there is because that's where we have Little League baseball, and I'll be the president of both. I mean, I'm the president of Little League, and I will be doing the softball and the baseball. I like to have them together, but I need a field for them to play on, and it's kind of a time frame thing too, because if we do Little League softball, I need to put a board together because we'll have two different boards, one for baseball, one for softball. Then they can start organize their fundraisers to raise money for that. I've been in contact with Scotty's, two engineers from Scotty's. They've done looked at the field. I'm hoping to get back with them, and I know Chris Higgins, a lot of people might know him, I think he's from Lewisburg. He's looked at the field, and when we first talked, he said Scotty's, he has some donation stuff that he can do. How much, I don't know. I'm going to get back with him to see what Scotty's could do. If you've been out there, there's a waterway that poured concrete with like riffraff rock in it, and it's just, you know, that needs to be all cleaned up. I'm going to see what he can do. I've called Jason Petrie about, where can I get some money for Park and Rec? I know what y'all are doing, and I'm for a park, because I'm telling you, people in this county don't realize the money that this county loses in not having some kind of youth activity on weekends. I've got some pictures that he's got that's going to show. This right here, this is the old scoreboard that was at the park. I don't know that y'all can. I can pass it around. Y'all can look at it. You can see it. That's the old scoreboard. I don't know. Bring up the next picture. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. I don't know if they're in order.
Well, let's see. We go back to it.
Okay, there's a new scoreboard. $15,000 scoreboard. It costs the city or the county nothing. I made $3,000 off that scoreboard. You can see the sponsors on it. They were very generous. I mean, I compare that scoreboard to any scoreboard in the state of Kentucky. Okay, you can go to another one. This is what the field looked like when I took over. They put up new lights, which was a great thing. That's why they cut the light pole off and left that. And then that's another picture. I mean, you could just look at the field, how the field looks. If you're going around, okay, that's the scoreboard again. This is the other side. You can see where they cut the pole off, and I mean, it was just very unsafe for kids tripping, and plus that's where a lot of the parents sit. That's the picture of the place now. It's concrete poured from dugout to dugout. People can sit there. We moved the bleachers down in the front. There's a batting cage that we built, thanks to Justin Owens. He donated all the money for that. Well, Little League paid a little. And that thing is used constantly, which I'm at the park once or twice a week. And those afternoons, there's somebody in there. Sometimes they're not from Logan County. I've seen people from Tennessee come up here and use it. Right now I'm working on my next project is to concrete that. I'm looking at building a new press box. I put in a thing for the Partner Foundation. It's already in, so hopefully I can get that back. And you know, like I said, this is my granddaughter back here. She's 9. Stand up, Evelyn. She's 9.
She said I want.
And it's not just because of her that I want to start softball. It's because of other kids. Jonathan Epley's kid plays Little League baseball. And there's one more. There should be another picture. We had a tournament, an all-day tournament. That's it. We had an all-day tournament. Yeah. Look, that's what we had on a Saturday all day long. The place was packed. I mean, we had, which my wife and daughter runs a concession stand, sold everything. No, I mean, there was nothing left, nothing. And that's what, you know, we can do, you know, if we have the facilities to do it. Again, I know what y'all doing, and, you know, a park needs to be a park here. Now, all those got different minds of what kind of park we're looking for. Okay, me, I'm looking for a full field complex, you know, a ball field. Now, the Buchanan stuff, I mean, it's fabulous. The indoor basketballs, the indoor volleyball, I mean, there's so much other stuff that's used. People goes in there and walks and stuff like it. It's a great use. But for me, I'm just asking for help because I like to get this bottom field fixed so I can start Little League softball now. And then, you know, there's other parks in the county. We're going to try to have a meeting with everybody that's running each park and try to decide, for me, for baseball, what's best for baseball in this county is to say, hey, maybe have kid pitch at Russellville, then Auburn, maybe have the T-ball, the coach pitch and stuff there. I know Lewisburg does their stuff, but we're going to try to get everybody in the county together and see, hey, try to get something organized for what's best for the county and the kids. I know, you know, some people says, well, we don't want to drive from Adele to Russell. You know, well, that's understandable. But, you know, to have it organized, and really for us to compete with the other counties and stuff around here, we got to do something better to get it better organized, to get all the kids together and play. I mean, All-Stars, this team, we had great kids, but there was young kids playing against older kids. It didn't work out very well. But, you know, we're just going to I'm going to keep trying. Again, you know, I'm just asking for help. I don't have no figures about the cost of what I need. Like I said, I'm trying to raise a lot of money myself and not have to come in here and ask y'all. But if I can get help, I mean, it's greatly appreciated. I know you've helped a lot. The money that you spent for the fencing, the money y'all give, it went towards my fence. The bottom field's the same way. The fencing in it is horrible. I've got a quote on, I haven't got the quote back yet, but I'm getting a quote on that. And it's just, you know, I just need it cleaned up where I can get it started. But again, like I said, I mean, I'd like to see a park here. Now, you know, I ain't gonna tell no lie, I'm 67 years old, I don't know how much, you know, longer I got. I hope I got 20, 30 more years, you know, God willing. But, I mean, I do umpiring, you know, on the side, and I just got back from St. Louis, was there all week long. I mean, places were just packed. I've been to places in like no man's land, but there's a complex that's full, and you know, it helps the community out, because if they're playing ball all day, they're not going to need a hot dog or hamburger all day. They probably going to go to Roy's or somewhere, or some of these Mexican restaurants, or you know, McDonald's, and kind of bring a little money into the community. So when I get some quotes, you know, I might come back, but
When you get some quotes, let's you and I sit down and we'll talk, and I'll bring it back to the fiscal court, and we'll see if we can find anything to help with this project. That's about the best I can tell you. I mean, we didn't budget any money for this project, but it's something that we can potentially look at.
well, and I appreciate that, and I just kind of want to bring the attention to it.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, I'm trying to do it without really having to bother y'all or the city. I'm going to city council tonight. I went the other night, I'm going back tonight. But it's, you know, I'm just trying to find help, and I'm just trying to provide something for kids to play ball.
I agree.
That's my, you know, that's my love.
Agree 100% with you,
Yeah.
Greg.
Greg, man, I've seen the field before and after. You've done wonders with that thing. I mean, it's nice out there. I appreciate everything you've done for the kids. The first thing I would say is, you know, what we budget for every year is, the City of Russellville are the custodians of that property.
Yeah.
And they take care of it, and it's in their budget. What we do every year to help them, since it is in the county, so we like to help, we give them $1,000 a month to help maintain it. And we also give them a one-time $25,000 a year, you know that. So I think I would start there. Like, so, you know, we did get some money, we got a grant, and we're giving each city $100,000. And I think the city of Russellville chose to build bathrooms at a playground.
No, they did playground equipment.
Playground equipment?
Yeah.
But one time it was gonna be
Yeah, it was
bathroom.
one time, they did playground equipment at Hampton Park.
Okay.
They just completed that project, Friday or yesterday.
Okay. But anyway, what I was saying is I think where you could start is, that money isn't earmarked, we give that to them as a special project. So you could start there and say, hey, the money the county gives you every year, this $25,000, can that go towards what I want to do?
Exactly.
And that's what Mark done with the last
Okay.
guy.
Right.
They've been, I even, you know, my press box, I don't know if you ever been in the press box, 2 before walls, plexiglass windows, rain in all the time, and I got a quote, and I took it to Jen took it to Mark, $7,500 is what it was to redo it. I insulated, I put paneling up in it, I put carpet in it, I put air conditioner, and heating air in it to make it nice. New windows, fabulous place. Now I will tell you this, I put in a grant for the Carpenter Foundation to build a new press box, to take that press box off of that dugout. The reason why I want the press box off the dugout is, a lot of grandparents, if you've been to the park, they'll pull right there at that handrail. Okay, some of them can get out, some of them can't. Well, you can't see. With that press box gone, then it's going to open it up. Auburn, Jarrett Patrick and them stepped in because that league was dead. They stepped in at the last minute. Might give money to do some field work. I know they've done work up there. But again, to me, it would really be nice to have one good, nice, centralized park where we could do everything together. Now, that's just my opinion. You're going to have different opinions from other people. But I have seen what a weekend event would do. Well, I mean, you take the tractor supply, the tractor pulls and stuff you have that you build out there. I mean, look what that does. I mean, the people that comes in and supports that. I haven't been to, I've seen where they're going to have 2 big tractor pulls later on in the year, big sanction one. I'll probably go to that, but I mean, just look at what it's going to bring in, stuff like that brings in.
Absolutely.
And I think, which, like I said, the full field complex, I won't never see because I won't be here long enough. But if I can get this fixed right now, I can provide something not only for my granddaughter, but other kids, girls in the county that want to play sanctioned softball.
I agree. Greg, we appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
If every community in our country had someone like you advocating for positive, healthy things for children
Yep.
and youth and their parents, we'd be a better nation.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm going to say another thing. I want to say a thank out to Jared Patrick at the Southern Heights Church. They've got a group in this week called the Praying Pelicans.
Seen that.
They're going to go to Auburn's Park and help clean it up. Right now, they're at my park, well, not my park, the city park, and the county. They've done painted the handrails, they're repainting the dugouts, they're painting the inside, they're cleaning up. So again, there's work that we're doing. It's not costing nobody nothing. The city bought all the paint, which I'm very appreciative, and I'll thank them tonight for that. But again, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like that we can do that hopefully that I don't have to come back every time to ask for. But the help I do get, I really appreciate it. And not that, but, she appreciates it. And there's other parents. I mean, like you've seen what we've done. And another good thing that I'm just going to say about our park is when we have a ball game, we don't have no Rickus and Roy. I haven't had to call him yet. I haven't had to call the city clerk meeting nothing. I'm the umpire, and I just told them we're not going to put up with that because there's nobody here. There's nobody signing these kids to a contract today. Let them play and let them have fun. They're kids. But hey, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Let's move on. Approval of bills. Bill list is presented in front of you.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
A second. And a second. Discussion.
Don't,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you want to go?
No, go ahead.
The only thing I was going to ask was, just for clarity, on the payment for the broadband.
That was my question, man. You still not
Okay,
done.
I'm sorry.
Is that the last one?
Is that the last one for the HES Hopkinsville?
I believe that's the last draw, that correct?
Okay. I thought,
But we left that in that account. We're not
Yes.
having to pull it back
No.
from savings. They had already told us the amount. And we're just drawing down that amount.
There's not a whole lot left, but I think there is a small amount.
okay, all right, thank you.
If
That was
there's
my
an extra
question. I
all,
thought we'd already paid it.
Yeah.
That was my question.
that was just,
Finished with EPB
yes.
total.
Okay.
So what, all that's left is the small amount with HES.
Correct.
Thanks.
Any other questions? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up on the agenda is our treasurer's report. Miss Amanda, come talk to us, please.
I think the first thing on your drive is my annual financial statement for fiscal year 24-25. It's a very lengthy document. I just need you all to acknowledge it. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Make a motion to acknowledge the financial statements for the last fiscal year.
Accept and second.
Any other questions?
Man, I did want to ask a question on, trying to get back to the right page. Under statement of receipts and general fund, there's and I'm sorry, I don't know what page it is here. But I see in here that there is a variety of, let me get the right page. Of lodging facilities. But I was looking at the one that you gave us last year and like not necessarily see some of the same names. And I was wondering if that is just a problem with collection. Like, you know, I know I saw the ad and the notice that the tourism put out about reminding folks that they owe the tourism tax and whatnot. Are we seeing a problem with truly collecting all of those? I mean, do we feel like we're collecting from everybody that owes, you know?
Probably can answer that one, although she actually bills
There
the
wasn't very
transient
many.
room tax.
Yeah, there wasn't very many.
And they come in a variety of ways. Some of them are paid through a third party where it may be Compliance Solutions, or it may be Avalera, or things of that nature. So they don't all come in as, you know, Thomas Bolden's Bed and Breakfast. You know, it comes in as a third party vendor.
Yeah. Everybody that we have signed up is paying as they should. The biggest thing is getting the word out there, which I talked to Dee Dee around fair time, that maybe she should make a post on Facebook on tourism, and I think she did.
Yeah.
That, hey, if you own an Airbnb or own something like that, you have to sign up with our office. And I think it's helped. I've had a few come in. But that's the biggest thing. Because there is no easy way to get like on Airbnb and figure out, okay, well, who owns this? It's a lot of hunting. If you can see that there's Airbnbs out there in Logan County that are not signed up, like, you know, like that's not property that I have. But then taking the time to then go in and be like, well, let me go to PBA's website, figure out who owns this, and let's figure out what their mailing address is. That is a huge task. It's a huge undertaking. Whenever I have time, I do it, but.
And realistically, tourism should be the one searching those out, not Olivia. She has more work to do than do that, so.
But everybody that is signed up is paying as they should.
So when you say sign up, what are they signing up?
In my office, they come in and they fill out a form,
Like a license or something? Or?
well, they have to sign up. That's another thing. So Carol catches a lot of them because they'll sign up with occupational tax and she'll send them my way. But like, it's just a form that I can get in my system, so I know like, okay, I'm going to start receiving a check from this person. It's just explaining, because a lot of people don't understand what it's for, so it's a lot of explaining what it is.
Okay. Thank you for that explanation.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
The next thing on your drive should be a list of budget transfers that we need to get approved.
So moved,
Second.
A motion and second.
$40. Never seen one so low.
And these, they're bank charges, but they're not true bank charges. They are for the credit card machines that we have through occupational tax and the animal shelter. So that's what these bank charges would be.
Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And I do have some cash transfers today. Today we need to transfer $50,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the general fund.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
We need to transfer $145,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the jail fund.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
We need to transfer $25,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the LGEA fund.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion, second. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
And we need to transfer $75,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the 911 fund.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion, second. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
That's all I have for you.
Thank
That's it.
you.
All right, moving on, let's start with roadwork request, District 1.
District 1, just need to check out cross drain on Collins Lane. See about we can get the water to pass through there a little better. Somebody's got some lakefront property, cause the drain seems to be stopped up or something, so appreciate you could do that. And appreciate all the mowing and all the mosquito spraying. Other than that, continue maintenance.
District 2.
I turned in my road request by email, but one I think I forgot was mosquito spraying on Rouse Road. And that, as far as everything else has been turned in, thankfully.
District 3.
Pee-wee, these are all items I've already told you about, a couple on Williams Road, and of course the Lakewood Lane riprap, so I just repeated that on this list here. But also, I'll give you this thank you card. We've got a thank you card from Miss Flora Browder. She's very appreciative of the work you did on Stevenson Chapel Road, so I'll let you take that to the road department.
I actually heard her on the radio today say the same thing.
It's very nice.
It was, District 4.
Warner Chick Road around the 900 block, the road's falling off, kind of a bad dip. There's actually a few dips out through there that need some attention until we can get that thing paved. And then on the 2400 block of Sharp Garden Road, where we had that massive litter issue yesterday, there's like a tile like falling off and kind of eat out to the road. And then on William Brown Road, we'll need to do some tree limb trimming back before they go in and harvest the crops because they can't get their combines through there. Was you aware of that? Other than that, I appreciate it. And just for the general public in District 4, just some knowledge for people listening, I've got over 130 roads in my district. And in the past 2 weeks, the road department has done something at 31 of them. So the road department's busy there. I mean, if you look at these road work request lists that they do every 2 weeks, it's just insane how they're moving around the county working.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate everything.
District 5.
I think you got a text from me on this, a call from me on this. Cemetery Road has got some areas that when we have the rains like we've been having, it washes all the gravel from the shoulders onto the road and cars have been sliding in it. And they're very worried about safety. So rather than put gravel on some of those higher areas that always do that, can we put coal patch or something up there that won't
Yeah,
walk?
I would put gravel or like it, that's coming out of gravel. Or somewhere down in the hill, I'm just quitting that, that ain't working, that's creating some problems. But a lot of that's coming out of gravel, that's it, we gotta turn that water back into the ditch somehow.
We're looking to answer, to fill in what Pee Wee and I have been talking quite often about all this rain that we've had. This is a mass amount of rain we've had has washed a lot of gravel in areas, and something Pee Wee and I have been looking at is a process to where we can basically put some tar on the side and maybe make that stick a little better.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit of a cost to the county to get this equipment and this process to do this, but in the long run, it'll pay for itself versus us continuously putting gravel in these spots.
Well, I promised him I'd bring it up today. Thank you. And Shaker Bend. I think I called and asked if there could be mosquito sprayed out there for those people that are in that area before it goes down to Mr. Garcia's place. is the possibility of mosquito spray. It wasn't on the list, so I didn't know if you'd had a chance to do that.
Yeah, we'll spray it again, and we're again.
Thank you, because they got a lot of drainage back there. Thank you very much.
District 6.
Continue maintenance. Thank you for everything, Pee Wee. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and those that are not aware, on Sharps Garden Road, yesterday we had a litter incident, and we are working on getting it cleaned up before you start calling Jason complaining about it. We know about it, we're working on it, it's just, it's a very disturbing fact that someone would do that. But anyway, moving on, I need approval of road work request.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. No discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Moving ahead, let's work with our elected officials. Sheriff Stratton, please. Do you have anything for us, sir?
Have a personnel action request I need to do for Deputy Quentin Wright from where he's going from patrol to the drug agent spot that we have. Move him up a little bit.
He was in my class.
Oh, Lord.
Bless you.
Right out of high school.
I love it when my students are doing great things. Good, good, good.
Make a motion to approve the personal action request for Quentin O. Wright. The effective date, July 21st, 2025. Quentin will be going from just the base schedule of LC-SO-1 to also stipend of LC-SO-1S1 with 6 years credit experience.
Have a motion and a second from Chris. Any discussion? Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Stacy Watkins, do you have anything for us?
I don't, unless y'all need to have questions for me.
None that I know of, but thank you. Moving on, Jailer Joshua Timmy.
Good morning.
Morning.
As of this morning, we had 80 county, 57 state, holding 2 for out of county for pickup for 139. And then since our last court meeting, we have booked in 58 and then released 63.
You released more than you took in.
Yes.
Amen.
I just want to give an update. We had our latest pre-release class last Friday. Went very well. Had the better part of 20 agencies represented, showing an overview of what their agency provides as far as individuals being released from incarceration and the assistance that's out there. So they're just not on their own, and they've got resources at their disposal. All they've got to do is ask. But they receive a folder when they're released with contact information, pamphlets, brochures, business cards, and any barrier that they have. They call the point of contact for whatever resource they need, or if they're not sure, employment services, reentry branch, they will help them and get them to the right person. But that's going very well. And then our next event will be September 19th from 2 to 4 p.m. We do that every other month on the third Friday from 2 to 4 p.m., the pre-release classes. We're currently testing individuals that qualifies, that's got their high school diploma or GED equivalent, that are interested in SkyTech. We are testing for that for the next semester, getting ready to start getting those individuals ready. We're also working with John Swords and planning the next dates for the next Work Ready Boot Camp and Job Fair for our individuals over there. And then we don't have that date yet. That's in the works. But typically we do that roughly every 3 to 4 months. So roughly every quarter we'll have our next Work Ready Boot Camp and Job Fair event. And then I sent you all an email. I didn't get it till late yesterday, but the SaaS agreement from Cadmus to where our JMS system, or our jail management system company, as well as our medical company, collaborated together to design an EMR, or electronic medical record. Instead of having the old paper copy, which is what we're still using, and filing cabinets galore with old records, having those scanned in under everybody's profile that's either has been incarcerated or currently, getting those, retaining those based on retention records and time, but getting rid of others and then going to digital. And that's what this system is. That will be covered. We paid for the initial training cost to implement it. That went into effect last week. However, the medical company will consume that cost, and it will be included with the contract from here on out. But the SaaS agreement for that, I emailed to everybody, and I have a hard copy if you'd like to see it as well. But again, it's just for the software that's internet-based, to where any of our medical staff, of course, our nurses rotate out. If we get a call from a court system that is concerned, or somebody makes a statement saying, well, I'm not being fed, I'm not given my medication. Well, there's a digital record that they can pull up on our JMS website that's got the electronic medical record, and they can pull up that individual's medication list and say, yes, they were offered at this time. If they refused, there's notes there if they took the medication, or whatever the case may be. Or if you've got somebody that's refusing to eat, it's documented, and there's a counseling done on the dangers of of course, not having the nutritional intake. But anything medical related will all be there. But to generate new records, to go through sick call requests every day, for MedPass for the morning, midday, or evening, depending on what medication they're taking and what time they're required to take it, and then to search any and all records for any reason, it would be so much more faster and efficient versus having a hard copy in an old file that may or may not be legible over time. But it's just a more efficient method, getting with the times, more or less. But I think they really enjoy it, and it's at other facilities, and we just want to get up to speed, up to date with that.
You emailed a copy of that to Joe, correct?
What's that, sir?
Joe was included in the email, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I sent him the email first separately to review it, and then I sent it to everybody, and then Ms. Jamie, I got your email fixed. I'm sorry it popped up. But I did send a separate one to make sure you have that agreement. I don't know if the court
I
wants
have
to.
a couple questions.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
it sounds great, definitely need to do that, get away from hard copies.
Yes, sir.
I do notice, and I haven't had time to read this. So you
I
sent it
understand
an
that.
hour ago.
Yes, sir.
I do see that there is a fee schedule in there.
Yes,
And it's asking you to sign this contract.
Yes.
I haven't read, but are you signing to pay this fee schedule?
The initial cost we paid, but the other, it puts in there that it's covered by the medical provider, that it's included from that point forward.
So what was your initial cost? I mean,
$4,000 for the initial.
So you paid
equipment. Yes,
$4,000?
and the training and the implementation, and we got everything lined out, signature pads, tablet, everything's.
And this $13,800.
But that's total, that's for the JMS system, that's for the scribe, for the cell check system, and for this. It's everything combined, which we were paying 12 for the JMS alone with the other system, and this is 3 in 1 for less money.
Okay, all right.
And it's a better system, it's a lot easier.
You can see where you're repeating problems.
Yes, yes.
We'll let
Do you
Joe,
have-
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Do you have a percentage? I'm sorry to ask this difficult question. Do you have a percentage of the inmates who, through your programs, have, I know the man was here last court date to testify about how well he felt the program had helped him.
Yes, ma'am.
But do you have a percentage of inmates that go through your jail and are successful when they do?
I don't have an up-to-date number because, of course, with some of these programs, it's in its infancy, and you've got to do it over a period of time to have some better statistics, some better numbers there. But I will get you that.
Well, I just think it would be great for public consumption, for them
Yes.
to know that all your effort has produced
Less recidivism, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will get you that number.
As far as that contract, I want Joe to review it.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, I just received it this morning, so I haven't had a chance to even look at it really.
Yeah, I know Joe got it, but honestly, he's not here today.
Yeah.
We haven't
Yes.
had a chance to read it.
Right.
I understand. I just wanted to present it.
Well, we gotta, just want to make sure that it wasn't something that needed to be addressed
Yes.
immediately. If it was, we was going to have to step back and punt on this one, but,
No. Well,
yeah.
I've let them know that it's
Right.
been submitted for approval and review, and it would take some time, so.
Okay, that's all we need.
Yes, thank you on that. And then the last is, I know during budget workshops, everything, it's been talked about for a long time, the repairs for the jail for the roof and the windows. That was budgeted for. I meant to bring it up last court meeting, and I did not, but asking court's permission to advertise for bids on the roof and the windows. That is budgeted for, if we could do that.
What do we do about the spec?
We never received a spec on it, or have I?
Yeah, we got it. We got a spec.
I'll have to look for it then.
Yeah. Preferred, Dave Kudre sent us a spec. I sent it maybe for your review, and told you maybe, we just had Judge and I need to sit down
Yeah.
and review the spec.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, and then once we get a spec that everybody can agree upon is clean,
Yes,
then
sir.
I think would be a good time. I don't think we should do that today.
Yes, sir.
Because
I
I've even forgot.
I meant to bring it up
Yeah,
last court meeting, and with everything that
needs
was
to be
brought
done
up, I did
soon.
not.
My apologies, I do have, you're right, Thomas, you did send
But a
that.
spec has been wrote for our review.
Yes, sir.
We just need to look at it and say, now, I don't have anything to do with the windows, but I did ask a company to come and write the spec for it
Yes, sir.
Do you want to,
on the roof.
do you want to do approval contingent upon?
I think y'all need to look at it. I wouldn't, that's a lot of money. That's
I'm just going to ask.
That's probably a 300,000 plus job, and I'd hate to do that without y'all reviewing that first. It was 30,000 maybe.
I'm just going to ask you if it's thorough enough, so.
Well, you are more fixing.
We could go ahead and put it in.
For it, so.
We could go ahead and put it in, and to go ahead and put it, once we approve the specs and make sure they're right, we can advertise to bid. But then go ahead and get that out of the way. She can go ahead, once we do it, that way she's got approval to go ahead and put it out without having to come back and wait on court. So in case we got to it like in the next week or two, we could go ahead and everything right.
Well, I think the court should review the spec though before advertising that. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. What I was saying.
I would hate
well,
to do,
I mean,
I'd hate to
we do it.
advertise that and then somebody look at the spec and say, well, wait a minute, why are we doing this or not doing that? And now we gotta re-advertise again, that's another $800 advertisement fee.
That's fine too.
We've waited this long, I mean, another 2 weeks ain't gonna kill us.
Okay.
I just wanted to put that on the courts,
Yeah.
Bring that back in.
I understand.
The court's radar, so
Yeah, we'll get together.
Why don't we put out the window bid now, since it don't have nothing to do with it?
There's no spec.
We don't have a
I mean,
spec
what
for
are we-
windows.
What are we gonna,
So
Right.
next court meeting, we're going to have a spec for both. That go.
don't look at me about the windows,
That's 3
I don't know
weeks.
nothing about windows.
I don't know anything about windows other than you see through them hopefully most of the time. If you and your guys can get a spec available together, so we can review
I'll
it.
bring it to you, or let you all review it. Yes.
That'll work.
Yes.
That'll work.
Thank you. That's all. That's all.
Anything
I
else?
have. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Josh.
All right, moving on, department heads. Ginger Lawrence, 911, what do you have for us?
I don't have much. I just wanted to give y'all an update that we do have 2 stations completely up and running. I can take credit for it. My staff was awesome in my absence, especially Christy and Susan. They just took off and got everything done. But 2 stations completely up and running. We got one that's halfway there, going to get us through. We're not going to tear those down till after the August 8th holiday, because we want to make sure we can have 3 dispatchers in there at that time. But it's starting to come together, and it looks really nice.
It does. I encourage any of the members of the court that have not been in there to see it.
They were awesome and just took off and ran with it while I was off.
It's looking very professional now.
You represent us well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ginger. Road supervisor, Pee Wee, do you have anything for us? Okay, all right. All right. Ginger, or not, I'm sorry, Ginger, how are you doing today? Denise Shoulders, come on up and give us the announcement you've been wanting to announce for a while.
Well, it's not a positive one to start with. Last Friday was Carrie Holloman's last day with us as our Thursday, Friday clerk. Life has a way of throwing curveballs at you, and she had to make some decisions that were best for her, and she chose to leave as an employee. She is staying on as a volunteer, so we're happy about that. We are going to miss her. We really appreciate everything that she did for us and with us while she was here. So that did leave a vacancy in the office. And the result of that was I was offered to become the archives manager and the county's part-time grant writer. This is something that I tried very heavily, very strongly to keep Carrie, but she felt it was in her best interest to do something else, and we respect and honor that. So since we knew that this was coming, I have been looking at countless grant opportunities across all county departments, and sent a letter yesterday to all department heads. I do hope I found them all, because I'm not quite sure that I know who all the department heads are. Asking for the department heads to send me a list of their wants and their needs. Because if Pee Wee needs another tractor and I find a grant for an excavator, there's no sense in trying for the excavator if he doesn't want it or need it. So
We'll take an excavator.
I'm sure he would. Pee Wee, could you use one?
He's not gonna say that.
He wasn't listening. So I'm going to do my best. I've already got some on my radar of things that I know that some of the departments need, some things that are coming in the future for the county. Without knowing more specifics on some of those things, I don't know what to start with, what to aim for. If any of the department heads just want help finding grants and they want to write them, I'm all for helping them find them and sending them the information they need to go after them. But I am also happy to help them write the grants that they need so that they can spend their time doing more important things.
Carrie's great.
She is.
But when you take a hold, you're like a bulldog. You dig in. And I think we're very lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any other questions? Oh, before I do forget though, we did recently receive a grant through the Kentucky Colonel's Good Works program, and with that grant we were able to purchase, what did we get? We got 6 new chairs for the office, and the chairs that we had, we were given those from Logan Aluminum. They could only give them to a nonprofit. Because they could only give them to a nonprofit, we can only send them to a nonprofit. So to pay it forward, we gave the chairs that we did have to the Seat Museum for their new research center that they're putting together down there. And we also got various storage needs, and one of those items is clear sleeves to put the most fragile documents in so that they can be sealed. The touching and the handling will no longer deteriorate those records, but we can still see them and use them until we scan them, and then we won't have to handle those things anymore.
And some of your initial research, you've seen some grants for parks, quite a few grants for parks.
Parks, animal shelter, I've looked at emergency operations, trying to see if I can find you guys money for some cows sirens.
Yeah, definitely.
Just based on what you guys have talked about during court sessions, I've kind of
Keep notes.
and so those are things that I've already spent quite a bit of time over the last 2-3 months looking and have gotten fairly organized. Each of the department heads will receive access to a Google folder, a Google Drive folder. That way we can do a lot of things digitally. I won't have to, bother them. They can do it at 2 a.m. if that's when they feel like doing their paperwork. Whatever we can do, and then I'll be able to share those things with Olivia to a fiscal court folder. She'll be able to put them into your folders when they need to come to court for final approval, signatures, whatever.
I have no doubt you'll do a great job. We appreciate you
Yeah,
digging in already. So.
she's hit the ground running on the grant writing stuff, so.
Any other
very proud of
questions?
that.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Nathan Cockrell, Solid Waste, you want to come up and talk to us, speak to us, talk to us, whatever you choose to do.
I can talk with Bob. Good morning. Good. So on your tablets, there was a write-up about Tri-County Auto. And just a little background on that. They're a salvage yard in South Union. They had some issues. The site was in really rough shape. In an adjoining site, which is actually an open dump that we're going to come back to probably in a few months to apply for some state funding to clean. It was not the responsibility of the previous owners. They didn't leave it there, but we're going to work on that. But connected, or beside that site, is a salvage yard, and he had to clean up too, and he has done a lot of work. He put up a new fence and cleaned up his side of the site, and I talked to Miss Ann about it. She was out there, and so we discussed the kind of the issues on that he needs to make sure to keep his site up. But I did want to go ahead and present that for approval if you all were okay with that for their county permit for a recycler.
Make a motion.
Motion by Chris, do I have a second?
As long as it stays decent, because we both know the other dump site's just down the road. So my question was, do we need it? But if he's got mainly cars.
That's what he has, is a salvage yard, yeah.
So how long was the approval for? Is it for a year?
It's late, so it'd just be the next cycle again in January. So just for a few months.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was going to say, if it's been a problem site before, we could do it on, maybe more often, improve it.
It really hasn't, but
Okay.
it got really bad. He let it kind of get out of hand, but he's cleaned it up from that.
But it looks, okay, and the tires are a non-issue.
The tires are connected with the neighboring junkyard, or the neighboring open dump that is not it's not actually his ownership, is a relative of his, but that needs to be cleaned up, and we're going to work on an open dump grant
And he
for
knows
that.
that's kind of important.
He
As
does.
a reflection on him.
He does.
Yep, that sounds good.
I have a motion by Chris, do I have a second?
Yes, I'll second it.
Second by Ann. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Okay, and a couple other notes. We worked together with the codes board and all the needed parties, and it looks like we had set up a codes meeting for August the 4th, which is a Monday at 4 p.m. here at the old courthouse conference room. That was good for, I think, everybody, so, and the codes board was good with that, and we'll work on setting up. We have to set up a regular monthly meeting, and that will be a process we're going to work on also. One other thing that was mentioned about the Sharp Garden dump, I was out there. It is a frustrating issue always to see something like that, but Sheriff can correct me, but I believe they had found a suspect and were looking to charge a suspect.
Arrested and charged.
So they did charge someone with that, so I just want to let you know that there was work done on that. So.
Nathan, you said these permit applications are good for a year or through the end of the calendar year?
Correct. Yeah, that's how I'm framing it up.
Okay.
So
that would apply also to the high tower?
That's correct.
I know we tabled that previously, so if you're recommending that and it's really just got a short time, can be revisited, I'll make a motion to approve the tabled permit application for I don't know the property.
It was, the program is Logan County Salvage, yeah, on Highland Lake Road is out there. And I wanted to talk to you before that, and I hadn't had a chance to talk to you, so
I went out there.
Okay. They have done quite a bit of work, and so it
I
does.
put that in form of a motion that was tabled previously.
Second.
Motion is second. No discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And that will be every salvage yard that I have, will now be taken care of, will be permitted, so. Nothing else. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Nathan. Moving forward, judges' announcements, which has actually just turned into county announcements more than anything. Open Hearts, Open Hands, food pantry at the new satellite location of 85 Dunmore Church Road in Dunmore will be held Thursday, July 24th from 9 to 11. Regular distribution day will be Saturday, July 26th from 9 to 11. Concerts at karaoke, July 25th at 7 p.m. Rockland Road is providing the music. July the 26th, Logan County's free dump day for the residents of Logan County to be disposed at the transfer station at 55 Plainview Drive in Auburn. Logan County Clerk's office will be open for vehicle business only July the 26th from 9:30 to noon. Look at your car if it has PVA on it. Go see them before Saturday. The family resource centers will be community partners offering back to school bash July the 31st from 3 to 5 at the Logan County Extension Office for Logan County and Russellville School System. CALS testing, the monthly countywide outdoor warning system will be August the 2nd at noon. If there's severe weather, it will be rescheduled. Mr. Harper, I have one exactly for you, right here. This is for you and you, well, you and anyone else, but you. August the 19th, there will be a pop-up event for Logan County. The staff will arrive at 8:30 to 9, between 8:30 and 9:30. This is for licensing your driver's license here in Logan County. They can do anything. I asked them what can be done. They said they can do anything as long as it doesn't have to do with cash. So that's for you. So I want you up there August 19th.
You need a ride? I'll come get you.
It is a license, driver's license renewals.
Can they even do the new one?
At the extension office. I'm sorry, I kind of skipped around. I guess you have to wait till the next one or go to Hopkinsville or Bowling Green.
Phil, is that even for the real ID they're doing that?
Yeah, it's what it said. I asked them what this would event. They will provide license service for all residents of Logan County. There will be where there is not a permanent location. The only services the pop-up cannot do is cash payments and driver's testing.
Wow.
So,
Well, there's people all over the state that's going to be kidding.
Did you announce the Isaiah House deal?
no, I did not. At the extension office.
What's the time?
I'm sorry. I totally messed that one up. Let me, I skipped around. I was so excited about it, I forgot.
8:30, right?
They really didn't get, they're starting at 9:30 and they'll probably go to about 2 or 3,
You better be
somewhere around in there.
Can be so.
August the 19th. I got so excited, I just forgot all the good information. That's at the extension office, John Paul Road. If you have any questions, just contact me. I'll see if I can mess that up too.
Did you get the August 8th parade?
I did not. I didn't have any
Let me look, I'm 99% sure that is, let's see here. It is Saturday, August the 9th.
Okay.
The parade starts at 10:30 a.m. So that's a really nice parade.
It's a good parade.
You've never been, it's well attended. A lot of vendors there, a lot of food trucks, they have cornhole tournaments,
Lots of
basketball
stuff going on.
tournaments, there's a bunch. So,
Lots of stuff going on during that time.
Yeah, be sure to attend if you can, and they'd love to have any of y'all in the parade if you wanted.
Right, exactly.
Want to attend.
It's a short parade, but it's a good parade.
Somebody reached out and wanted us to announce that August 15th at noon at the Isaiah House, they're gonna
Okay.
do their open house. So we'll have another meeting before then to announce
Yes,
it again.
yeah, I'll make sure I get it announced in. The open house for Isaiah, August 15th at noon. All right, moving on, reports. The only report I have is Chris, Jamie, Pee Wee, and myself sat down about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. We had gotten road criteria reports for accepting new county roads onto the county system from different counties around us. And we are looking at the criteria for accepting new roads into the county. And hopefully within the next couple of meetings, we'll have a report back to you guys on changes we would like to make to that ordinance or our road criteria specifications. Anything else you guys would want to add to it? All right.
I guess that'll go in conjunction with the subdivision board and
Yes,
then
yeah, it'll have to on that, yeah. I don't know if we'll be changing much that'll affect them, but yeah. All right, moving on. With no more of the reports, citizens' participation. If someone has something they'd like to talk to the court about, now is your time to come forward and address the court. Please come forward. State your name and your...
Pat, don't roll your eyes, Thomas Bowles.
I know who you live.
I know, you know me. Pat Bell, and I live in Russellville, Kentucky, and I do work the detention center part-time, and I know y'all have had a lot of questions about the overtime. Okay, we're losing several deputies that are going to the prison because they make more money. And like I say, I work there part-time, and it's no easy job. And when you make $16 and something an hour, of course, we do appreciate the raise, cost of living we got. But I would challenge y'all to go down there on a court date. I mean, it's like yesterday, when we worked, we had an incident. We have to have so many deputies on the floor because one has to stay in the control, and you've got 3 on the floor. And when you have someone, a fight, break out or whatever, I mean, it's not easy. And I would appreciate, because several of the deputies, it would be greatly appreciated if they could not only get a cost of living, but maybe a little raise. And if you have any questions, our jailer can answer, but I just wanted to touch on that. And then later on about the park.
Thank you, Ms. Bell.
So, I mean, I'll make a comment on that. I mean, you know, as Ms. Bell said, you know, she sits on the city council, so she knows how it works as far as what you pay your employees that works for your government or works for your entity. So what we did several years ago is we realized that we were behind as far as what the market was paying for a job. So we have to go by is what are other people paying around you that have similar facilities, and how are they compensating their people? So we looked at that several years ago with the jail. Well, when we did even the previous court, we looked at that and we upped it some then, and then just a few years ago we upped it again to get us in line with the other surrounding counties and what's in that job market. And since we've done that, we have not failed to give a cost of living raise. So, of course, all of our employees, we appreciate them all. I mean, you know, they work hard, but that's what we go by. We go by what the job market pays. Everybody deserves more. There's no doubt. But I will say that we have continually worked on that, and we've made more than cost of living raises more than once, specifically the jail. And we've done that within the past few years, and we've done cost of living since then. So I just wanted to make everybody aware of that. So.
Any more citizen participation?
I'm Darrell Allen. Harper and I done talked to you. They said they're going to repave Warner Chick Road. And I was hoping they might widen it just a little bit more too, because as you're going up the hill there, you meet somebody's going to go off the road. Most times when I'm at the bottom, I take a run up that hill quick. But anyway, I got another question. The Muddy River tax you get every year, what's it for? I get that every year on my bills. What's it for? What's it do?
That is a.
Watershed district, right?
Yeah, watershed district.
What's it good for? I mean,
The watershed districts, and there's several people here that probably answer a whole lot better than me, but, you know, it's a flood prevention plan.
Okay, it's a flood prevention plan. Why don't they go in there and get all these log jams out of the river then?
You'd have to ask the water district.
You have to ask the water district,
Who's over that?
Stacy, Olivia, you remember?
Anybody know who's over the Muddy River?
I can get you that information if you'll get us your.
Right there, on Coopertown Road, that bridge right there, there's a big log jam right there. If it comes down, it's gonna be right up under the bridge there. And that floods all the time right there. That's the reason I was wondering what the money's spent for. If it's supposed to be taking care of the river, I can understand paying for it, but if they ain't taking care of the river, why pay for it?
Is it, where's the log jam at? Where'd you say it was at?
Right there on Coopertown Road, first bridge on Coopertown Road there.
Okay. I'll try to get a hold of the state and see if I can get them to come over and clean it out.
Yeah, it needs it, because where that log jam is, that's part of the reason it floods so bad in that bottom right there. You know, between them two bridges, it floods like crazy right in there.
I can try to get a hold of the state. That's about the best I can do on that.
I know Harbor probably knows about that real good, how it floods in there, because that, what was it, less than a year ago, a couple of vehicles got stuck in there.
Right. All right.
So, but I do appreciate y'all going to fix the road.
Thank you, Mr. Dowell. Is there anyone else? If not, we'll move on to old business, which we have nothing, so that brings us right to new business. Item number 1, hold a public hearing for the purpose of hearing public comments in favor or opposition on the intent to finance for the proposed Logan County Park. If anybody would like to speak, now's your time. Please come forward to the microphone, and thank you.
I don't want to step on anybody's feet or anything. Like I say, Pat Bell from Russellville. I feel like that I have nothing against doing the park, but I feel like we need, why y'all don't have a meeting like after most normal people are working during the day, cannot attend and voice their opinions. And one of my questions would be, have y'all done a study analysis on it? What it's going to cost?
Yes.
What is it going to do to the citizens' taxes? Are we going to, because if you want something, it's going to increase taxes. So, and my thing is like the communication center, you know, updating stuff like our police, our fire, our water, our sewer. Those are necessities that we have to have. And I feel like I said, if we got money for a park, great. I have nothing against it. But I feel like, you know, the meeting should have been maybe for people that working, like at 5:30 could voice their opinions. And I'm not against it completely, but I just think we need to look at things a little different.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Just want everybody to remember that the state has given us $3 million for this project. Of that's $3 million, $400,000 we pulled out to give to each, $100,000 to each one of the cities to do like the Russellville Hampton Park project, for Lewisburg Park, Auburn Park, and Adderville Park. We're giving that. That's leaving $2.6 million. And on top of that, we had already saved $1.7 million in this fund for this park. So every bit of that is money that we have. It's no taxes being raised right now. There's no, well, I mean, you could say that about any project we have, Ms. Bell. Anything that the county does, eventually we're going to have to find some source of revenue to supply anything we do, whether it is the 911, whether it is the jail, whether it's the sheriff's department. Anything we do relies on the tax base. You're absolutely right.
So she brought up a good point, you know, about what it costs to do the EOC, 911, those sorts of things. As a matter of fact, you know, the county, we have been proactive on keeping that up to date.
Absolutely.
And we've been proactive in keeping our employees paid where they need to be paid to retain employment. We're 100%, near 100% employment. We haven't been in a very long time. And that's something, one of the burdens that we've taken care of, and we've done it successfully. And as a matter of fact, we do it for everyone. So the city of Russellville, city of Adairville, city of Lewisburg, whomever uses a radio system, the county fiscal court is taking on that burden. You know how much we asked the city of Russellville to help chip in on that? $0. So, I mean, that could change in the future. We might have to end up saying, hey, we need some help. We're taking care of, we're doing all the costs. So when those cities, and we provide that all these years, and we can continue to do that. But to say that, to bring that part up, we don't ask anything from the cities on the 911. I didn't know if you was here representing the city or.
No, I'm representing me as a citizen.
Understood.
I want to make that clear.
Yes, ma'am.
This is my opinion. I'm not representing the city. No, sir.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Well, let's go back again. I mean, while we're talking about it, let's go back 6 years ago, and you asked if we have a study. So 6 years ago, we had several people, several citizens that came to us. We need to do something. And as we talk to our people out in the community, they make comments and they say, hey, we don't have nothing to do. Our kids need something to do. We need something better than what we have. We need more. We can continue to have what we have, but we need more. So when we had people coming to us saying, do something, we didn't just go out and start buying stuff and start building stuff. And it's been discounted at some point in time. But we did do a study, and we paid WKU $25,000 to do the study. This has been 6 years ago. And this is what governments do. It's what entities do when they want to make sure, before they take the steps to do something, they want to make sure that the public, it's what the majority of the public wants. So it's a science behind it. It's a whole entire degree to go do what this is, a sampling data of your population. They received sampling data that they needed to give us a plus or minus, I believe, 4% of what people want and what we need in a park. And it was clear that the majority of the public wants us to do more. Could we go in and could we just do it, boom, boom, let's go spend this money, let's go spend millions of dollars? No, we could not do that. So we put the brakes on. It's okay, we need to do it, so how are we going to do it? So at that point in time, we began saving some money to make a down payment on a piece of property, okay? So we put back, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's around $1.25 million is what we ended up getting to, 1.1, and we put back a little every year for 6 years. We did that. And then once we did that, by the time we saved that money, and we were talking about the jail, we had a debt of the jail, and we paid interest and principal on around $340,000. I can't remember the exact number, but that was our debt service to pay. And we have to have the jail, don't get me wrong, but people are tired of us just spending money on housing criminals and arresting criminals. And that's all we do. That's all, that's not all we want to do in our government. It's not all I want to do. Maybe some other people, but it's not all I want to do. So we put back the money to get a down payment. We erased a debt. And the remaining money that we'll have left on this finance is around $1.6 million. And the property purchase is around $3.6 million. So, to say that we haven't studied it or to say that we haven't taken steps to try to do the best we can to be conservative, I think that's a false statement. I think we have done our due diligence on taking our time and to do something. And then once we erase that debt, okay, we can afford a payment because it's less than what our other debt was. So we're still doing good there. So You know, we can't do everything, we can't build, we can't spend $20-30 million, we know that. But we can chisel it away a little at a time. And that's what we're doing. We're not, and don't believe me, debt is scary, and I don't blame people for being concerned. Pat, I don't blame you for being concerned about being in debt. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But this is something that's been talked about for a very long time, and government moves slow, as you can see. You know, we voted to purchase this property 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And we voted to purchase the property and make the payments, you know, over 7 years. And and then the state says, hey, you know what? We like what y'all are doing. We think that's going to bring growth. It's going to be good for the community. Here's $3 million to help you with that.
Didn't ask for it.
Didn't even ask for it. We didn't ask $3 million. So
showed up with a big check.
So they show up with a big check and say, hey, go for it. And that's what we're doing. You know, but respectfully, I'm glad to see people here. I'm glad that there's interest and there's concern. But I'm hoping that if you haven't been seeing what's going on the past 6 or 7 years that we've been working on it, that this can clear it up just a little bit for me. But that's all I got to say.
Most everybody knows me. I'm Jonathan Epley. I'm from the north end, Lewisburg area. And I'm going to get this out of the way real quick. I am not opposed to anything y'all want to do. Nothing. I have a son who just turned 8 on Friday, and I'd love for him to go somewhere and be able to do this stuff. But I have 2 appraisals that y'all have done that I've done an open records request on. One appraised for $1.4 million. The math comes out to $5,796 an acre. The other was for $3,625,000. This one used property inside Logan County as their comparison. This one used property, all 5 properties was outside Logan County. 2 in Oak Grove, 1 in Scottsville, 1 in Tompkinsville, and I think the other one was Rocky Hill, wherever that's at. So how can you compare ground that's inside of our county to somewhere else like that? You can pick my home up right now and set it inside Warren County, and it's automatically $100,000 more. But guess what? My house is not in Warren County, so it's not a fair comparison. When people are selling their homes, they don't get comparisons for their home in other counties. They get comparisons on what has sold inside this county and in the area that they've sold in. This is no different. And I don't get it. I'm not opposed to the park, so let's be clear on that once again. But how can we go from 1.4 to over 3.6? That's my question.
Let me ask you, Jonathan, what is a fair property? What is a fair number? You're a farmer, you know land better than I do.
I think that one right there is fair.
You think $5,000 an acre? I haven't seen $5,000 an acre land sold in Logan County.
To my knowledge, in the last 6 months to a year.
That appraisal right there that came back, the reason we got a second opinion was because that appraisal came back less than what it sold for a year and a half earlier.
But there's been recent properties that's been bought around it for less. Recent properties have been sold around it for less than that.
According to that appraisal, it's worth less a year and a half later. I know no land in Logan County that has gone down in any.
But is our ground comparison to this? Is our land comparison to Oak Grove and Tompkinsville and Scottsville? Is it compared?
You'd have to ask the appraiser how they came.
I don't have to ask the appraiser because I know it's totally different. Oak Grove is a booming place. They have I-24, you got Hopkinsville on one side, Clarksville, you have Fort Campbell, you have the casino and all that coming in. It's not comparable. It's not.
What did that land sell for right here by Walmart the other day, an acre?
75, 60 or 70,
I think it was $60,000 an acre.
the land across from the park where they built houses sold for $50,000.
And then the land on the
Because it's
bypass, the
residential.
rest of it averaged.
$50,000 an acre?
35,
It was like 200 grand for, I forget how many lots it was.
Well,
250.
and I got another question. And I've asked some court members this, and they say that they can't work with them. Has anybody from this court sat down with Mayor Stratton and the city council about doing a joint venture on the current park we got and developing the 60, 70 acres that's out there and finishing what's already been started?
I'll tell you from the court's committee perspective that all those options were looked at, and we did not, for what we were trying to achieve, that was not enough ground for us for what we were doing. If you looked at the request for consideration, when we put those out, our minimum was 75 acres.
Well, there's already ground out there that's developed, and there's probably 60, 70 more that's undeveloped.
Like I said, we looked at that, and we didn't think that ground was feasible for what.
But
we
did
were
anybody
trying
go
do.
to them and just talk to them about it?
Did I?
Because we're fixing to have two different parts that's going to be competing against each other over here. And one of them's probably fixing to go to the wayside after all the money that you all have helped, and the city, and that Greg and his board at the Little League has put into that park. And once this is done, which it ain't going to be done in 5 years, it ain't going to be done in 10, it ain't going to be done in 20. My kid won't ever play on that park. My grandkid might not play on it.
Well, that's the reason.
So it seems like a real estate
I think
investment.
it would be a competing park. Again, we're at the infancy stages of what this park's gonna look like, but there's not a lot of overlap.
See, that-
We're not.
Nobody knows what it's
to
going to
put
look
in-
like either.
Again, we're at the infancy stage. We have not have anything to present. Now, it should be in the next 45 days, we should have a plan for the public to review. The committee is working hard. We've had a couple proposals. We've made some tweaks. Probably in the next 45 days, the public will have something to view, to add public comment on, but they're not competing parks,
They will be, and that will ever go to the wayside once this one's done. And the other parks out in the county will dwindle away once this one right here is done. Those communities will dwindle and they'll dry up.
In all due respect, John, I don't see
disagree with
that.
that.
I don't see that. Because right now, the city parks are offering the baseball, the sports complex and such like that. Right now, we're in a developing stage of a park.
I'm saying once this is done.
In
I
30
didn't
years.
say now. I didn't say once it's done. So we're going to spend 30 years on this?
You said that, not I.
Correct. And none of y'all disputed that.
Well, yeah,
Hey, another thing, people come up here with comments, and there's some of y'all that gets really defensive when we speak our comments about stuff.
I'm not being defensive.
I know, but there's some people that's really defensive, and I'm going to agree with Pat, with Miss Pat. This is a public hearing, and this may make y'all mad, but all 7 of y'all was voted on the citizens of this county, so every once in a while, you can be a little inconvenienced and have a public hearing on matters like this when the rest of the public can come.
Okay.
And I got friends sitting right here in front of me, and I'm saying that to everybody. So every so often, y'all can be inconvenienced a little bit to have a meeting when the majority of the public can come and speak their opinion on it. Because not everybody can take off. I've got the luxury enough that I work for myself and I can come. Look behind me. There's not a lot of people that's taking off work right now because they can't. They can't afford to. The bosses won't let them. They're not able to. But I just, that right there is just not comparable, man. It's not. I think that the money could have went and done something else. Did the state say, hey, here's $3 million, you have to use it on this?
It has to be used in parks. Yes.
Did anybody ask them to
Yes, sir.
allocate it for that way?
I did not ask them to allocate it that way. It was designed for parks.
Okay. Well, I think
We didn't even ask for the money.
that's great. We're still paying for it. The state just don't grow money on trees and say, oh, hey, here's $3 million we got out of nowhere. We're still paying for it, which is fine. We're going to pay for it anyway. And I don't agree with, once this gets started, that some have said taxes won't be raised. They're going to have to. They're going to have to be raised because you've already asked your department heads to cut your budgets as much as they could in order to afford everything. So if you're already asking the department heads to cut budgets, how are taxes not going to be raised when this gets started?
Jonathan, now, I'm going to disagree with you on that. For the simple fact, I sent a letter and asked department heads to cut unnecessary fat.
You're asking them to.
I asked them to. I didn't say, I didn't.
Correct. I didn't say you told them to.
I
I said
didn't do any of that.
you
I asked them
you
to
are asking them
cut
to.
fat because it was unnecessary expenses going on.
It's unnecessary expenses because there's other projects that needs to be done, and I get that.
Correct.
But you're expecting to finance this while everybody else is having to trim and get by. So I just don't.
We'll just have to agree to disagree on how that was handled.
Absolutely, we will.
Right.
But, and it's still, I'm telling you, you can pick my house up right now and you can move it into another county and it ain't gonna appraise for the same. It's gonna be more money. So
Okay.
it's not comparison.
You brought up a good point, and let me ask you this. If you had your house for sale, and they said it was contingent on the appraisal, and somebody came out and appraised it, and it was thousands less than you were asking, thousands, would you or would you not want a second opinion?
Yeah, I'll look for it. But 1.4, 3.6, that's a big difference, Phil.
You're absolutely right.
That's a big difference. And this has nothing against anybody that's involved in this. But 1.4 to 3.6 is a huge difference.
Did you look at the dates?
Yes, I did. They're not that far apart.
We'll have
I
to,
hope you understand, though.
They're not far enough apart, that should matter.
What are the dates?
This one was billed, the invoice on this one was.
no, I'm talking about the comps that they used, the dates on the comps.
I'll have to go back through here.
Everything, the one that you're speaking of was pre-COVID dates. Just about, I'm not gonna say everyone, and I apologize, I can't, but most of them were pre-COVID. And we know what happened after COVID, things went through the roof.
Well, I'm just telling you, there's been land sold in the area, and it didn't sell for that.
Mr.
It
Eckert,
didn't.
Mr. Eckert, you do understand, though, this board did not create those appraisals.
I know that.
We have to call from the list.
I understand
Provided by the
that,
state of Kentucky.
but you're going with
And
this.
says, pick from one of these people on the list.
Correct, I know
And
that.
that's all we can do, is pick up the phone and call and say, I need an appraisal done.
And I never said y'all picked
We didn't mess that number up.
Did I say that? I
Nobody would do
never
that.
said that y'all picked these appraisal
You
companies.
could probably call 3 more people and you'll get 3 more numbers.
Okay,
You know, I do.
but that's a huge difference.
I understand.
That's $2.2 million difference. Appraisal company don't mess up that bad. That's 2.2 million difference. This ain't 500,000. This ain't $750,000. This ain't $1 million. That's 2.2 million difference.
I just would think that I kind of had, again, knowing what land sells for in Logan County, knowing what it sold for, that property sold for in the past, and I get an appraisal that is less money, a red flag went up. Just be honest with you, went up. When it came back, a red flag. How is this worth less than what it sold at
Do not disagree with that.
at public sale?
Do not
A
disagree.
public sale where anybody in Logan County could have bought it, and it brought appraised for less. That was a red flag to this court, and the court said, let's get a second opinion. That doesn't even sound right. We called the next person on the list, okay? I didn't make that determination. We talked about it. We picked somebody off the list that's approved to do that in the state of Kentucky, and that's the second appraisal. Should we do a third one? I'm happy to do that, but, you know.
I mean, there's a huge enough difference. If it was 1.4 and then they went up to 2, okay, that's fair. That's $2.2 million difference right there. That's a huge difference, y'all. And
I don't think anybody think we came up with the number.
I know that. I know you did. I looked at it. I'm smart enough. I know that. And I know y'all didn't pick these. And by the way, for anybody listening, these are not from in Logan County, the appraisal companies, which is fine. That's no big deal. You got other options from outside.
The first one was called as a local company, and they subbed it out.
Okay.
And
Yeah, Trade Water Appraisal.
That was the reason we chose the first one.
The first one, we wanted to go local, we called local, and for whatever reason, unbeknownst to us, they called somebody in Marshall County to do the appraisal. I have no idea why they did
New
that.
set of eyeballs, which is fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. That's my biggest issue, is 1.4, 3.6. That's a huge difference. and we're just gonna roll on with it. I mean, I'm pretty confident the decision's been made to do it, and if it's made, then that's fine. But it's a public hearing, I'm a public, and I've talked to a lot of people who don't really know exactly what's going on with this, and they're not happy with it, and I'm not persuaded people either way, and I've talked to some of the magistrates sitting here, I'm not gonna call names, and they said, well, we've not heard any pushback. I'm telling you, there's pushback. Because nobody really knows what's going on. And I tell them, well, they have court meetings, you can listen to them, you can go back, like I try to defend y'all a little bit, you can go back and listen to things, you can call your magistrates. Why nobody says anything or wants to stand up, I don't know. I guess I'm just the vocal one of the group.
That's okay to disagree with what we're doing. We expect that. I mean, I think in government, it would be hard pressed to say, well, not too many issues we deal with that everybody's 100% in agreement, public and this court. But, you know, we have spent over 6 years with this.
I know that.
This thing. And to say that nobody knows what we're doing, and I don't mean this in a negative way towards anybody, it's not because the information is not there. There has been studies done. There have been public input where people came to court. The court is always open. We record all of our meetings. They're broadcast on YouTube.
Correct.
Everybody has an email address, a cell phone number. I know Tyler and I have done the radio show numerous times explaining about what we're considering with the park. I know it's been at least a dozen times over 6 years. So if, you know, and again, I know not everybody looks at those types of media, and they may not know, and I'm happy to discuss it, but it's not for a lack that this government body didn't put the information out.
Is the money there to pay for it in full?
Yes.
Then why are we talking about financing it?
We're not, and I want to bring that up. I mean, the purpose of today's meeting is because we took the option of utilizing the option that was given to us of making 5 years or 7.
Either one, we chose 7.
We can make payments for over a 7-year period at interest-free. So while we have that money, we're earning interest, but to that 2 year. So that's the whole purpose of this public hearing. If we had made the option of paying 100% down, we would not be having this hearing today. But since we took this arrangement of utilizing a 7-year payoff, we paid $2 million down, and we're going to do the 1.6 over 7 years. We will continue to earn the interest that we already have on it, which will then feed towards either the engineering cost or the development cost.
That's not a bad idea. I agree with that right there.
And I think we're earning basically 4% interest on our money that's sitting there now, and we're going to make our payments over the 7 years interest-free. So
free money's free money. No interest is free money, and I get that, and I agree with it 100%.
The park committee, of course, presented us multiple selections of architects. Of course, they're working on a master plan at this point. But I think we said from day one, we never have expected that we're going to develop this park day one. We know that it's going to be a gradual build, and we'll take the low-hanging fruit projects right off the bat, whether it's walking trail, easy, low-hanging fruit, little expense. But then hopefully with this money that we're holding on to, and with Denise and her grant writing, with General Assembly and the budget year coming up, we're going to continue to ask for $2 and $3 million if the state will give it to us.
Absolutely.
And I think we have no. I don't think anybody at this table has an expectation that we're going to have a 100% developed park in 2 years.
No, I don't expect that. You're not even going to be started on it in 2 years, and that's crazy to even think about.
But I do want I want to emphasize that the whole purpose of this public hearing today is because we took that option to finance the project. And I know it is financing, but when I think of financing, I'm thinking I'm paying above principal and interest. We're just taking advantage of a 7-year no interest payoff plan. And we wouldn't even have to, we had the choice of not even doing that, but we knew that would basically leave us with little to nothing for development to start off with. Plus, we lose the earning potential
It's not often you get that opportunity, you know.
No, you take free interest,
Person says, take the
that's free money.
asset, give me a little down payment, and you can pay me the rest of it interest free.
Yeah, if you go buy a brand new vehicle and they offer you 0% for 2 years, that's obvious. And I don't disagree with that. That side of the business, I'm not disagreeing with. But we got what I'm saying is there's a big gap it's an awfully big gap. That's what I'm getting at. And once again,
And those properties too, to just explain the process, you may know, but others in the crowd may not. The court put out a request for consideration for land to purchase. That was advertised for a little over 2 months, if I remember correctly. We advertised that via social media and on the radio and on the newspaper. We put those out, and we had 3 properties submitted. So again, we opened the proposal up, seal bid, we opened them up. Okay, I want you to consider my property here, and I will sell it for you for X amount of dollars. We didn't set the price, they set the price, you know. And we had 3 to view, and I don't remember the numbers on all of them, but one of them I know for sure was considerably higher per acre. I don't remember what the second one was. The second property that we looked at, I don't remember what, I apologize, again, that's public record. We can look it up, and then the property that we're considering, you know, but they set the price, you know.
Yeah.
We asked.
yeah, that's part of being a landowner. It's your property. You can ask for whatever you want, and if you get it out of it, more power to you.
And we are not at liberty like you could go buy a property that you could sit there and go back and forth. You know, we have to advertise, we have to ask.
Yes.
It has to be submitted. You know, it's not going, well, I'll offer you this, offer you that, and back and forth. We can't do that on anything we buy. We have to ask, we get a bid, you can either accept it or reject it, you know. And so,
I get all that, but
Okay.
my biggest thing is that's a difference.
I understand.
That's a huge gap. So I don't know if y'all,
Worth noting, I appreciate that.
I don't know if y'all thinking about, I don't think you are, but I think it should be looked into, maybe seeing if there's a difference. But that's it. We can beat this horse till lunchtime, but I ain't doing that, so.
Understand. Jonathan, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, there have been a lot of people in my district that echoes what he just said.
Understand.
And you all knew I was very reluctant to vote for this, but I was assured we would not have a tax increase involved,
Yes, ma'am.
and that better stay the way it is.
Hey, man, let me say something else. I know I mentioned my son earlier. I'm involved in everything. I'm involved in the fire department. I'm chief of the fire department. I coach youth sports with my son. It's the greatest blessing I could ever have. I love it. And I love something being done for the kids in the community because they need it. There's kids out here that does not have that someone. And when you're coaching these kids, it's phenomenal. And the response you get from them. I think it's a good plan, but I think it needs to be looked at a little bit different. So, once again, I want to reiterate, I'm not against it, but it needs to be looked at just a little bit different.
Understood. Mr. Gregory, how are you, sir?
Doing very well. Interesting meeting.
I'm sure all of you know who I am, but for the YouTubers, I'm Phil Gregory, taxpayer, Logan County. I just wanted to get a copy of your project cost analysis.
We haven't developed that.
We haven't
We're
developed
waiting on
it yet.
the engineer to develop a master plan, so we're still, I think Thomas said 45 to 60 days away
I
from that.
think about 45 to 60 days, we should have something ready for the public's input on.
Well, usually you have that before you start the project, to know what it's going to cost to start it, and what it's going to cost to finish it, and what is it going to cost to maintain it.
Well, we can't do that till we know what we're going to put in there, get a cost on what.
I'm saying you should never spend a dime until you have that. It's just bad business to do it that way. I'm sure, Thomas, that you, when you do a roofing job, that you know how many shingles and nails, and maybe add 10 or 20% to that for unforeseen expenses before you start the roofing job or submit a bid. I would just ask that you do the same practice with the taxpayer dollars. So I'm just saying you don't have a project cost analysis.
Yeah, and to answer your question, we don't have, when I do a roof job, I know how many shingles I got and how much labor it's gonna take.
But you don't have
Down
one,
the park, I
and you
don't know
should do
what's
the
going in
same,
it.
you should follow the same practices you do with your private money.
Well, I think though, I agree with you about having those facts, but I don't think you can develop those costs until you know the playground that you're working with. Meaning like, I can't develop a grade and drainage estimate if I don't know where I'm developing at. So I think what we've done is we've identified the land and bought the land, and now looking for an architect to give us a cost of, if you build this, this will cost that. If you build that, this will cost that. So we have to give them a place to develop that cost analysis based on, you know what I'm saying? Like, because not every piece of ground is going to be the same, and not every land is going to have the same features, whether it's rolling or whether it's flat or whether it's well drained, whether it's got water features, So I think what we have done now, we've given them a piece of ground to develop that strategy. And before we take the next step on additional expenditures, we'll basically have a list of, well, we want to do this, but we don't want to do that. That's not cost effective. That's where we're going to be at, hopefully in 2-3 months.
And I agree with that. But you should have that in place before you start spending money. That's my point. I'm sure, Mr. Baker, you're on the school board. You know about these projects. I'm pretty sure that the school board has a project cost analysis before they start spending money, when you think.
Well, you're right, I was on the school board, I'm not now, correct? And yes, and to echo what Chris says, though, you have, in order to develop this, which we'll have hopefully within the next few months, I'm not gonna put a daytime on it, within the next few months, hopefully we will have that cost. And then we can pick and choose what we would choose to do with the money we have. But without having a place to put this, it's kind of hard to get a cost on it. I mean,
Well, you knew what the land was cost, because you bought the land.
Yes, sir.
That should have been part of the project cost analysis. I mean, that should be all. What about a blueprint, a drafted blueprint of the layout of what you anticipate or what you project?
That's what we're working on.
That's what we're working on now. I mean, we can't have that before we have something to develop on. Because not every piece of ground is the same. I don't know if I'm following your question exactly.
Well, the question is, you shouldn't spend money till you know what you're going to do, what the project is going to cost, what the project is going to cost to build it, to finish it, and to maintain it after it's completed. That's just good business. That's just good business in the private sector. You can get all these blueprints and stuff that you want. You've been a civil engineer, you know this. It's one of these deals where you don't want to put your money out there until you have an idea of what it's going to cost at the very end of it. That's just my point.
And I agree, but we're talking land cost versus development cost. And we won't expend any development cost until we have a plan and a cost analysis.
I just don't believe anybody in the private sector would ever do it that way. I believe that everybody, unless you want to go bankrupt, that's how you would do this in the private sector. But you all have an advantage. You can raise taxes or not, or get grants or not. You got no certainty about this. You can't even tell anybody how long it's going to take to complete it. You have a deed in hand?
Haven't bought the property yet.
You gave them $2 million.
We haven't given them done.
What's that?
We haven't even paid nobody nothing.
You haven't paid? I thought the last court meeting, y'all came out of emergency executive session to finance this thing.
We didn't go into executive session.
Well, that's good to know that you haven't done that.
Every dime sitting in
Maybe
the
you
bank.
can get a project cost analysis before you do that. But you don't have a deed. And I was listening to Jonathan. Ladies and gentlemen, those appraisals sound like you're comparing apples to oranges. One's 1.4 is what I heard, and the other one is, we'll say 3.7. Land in another county? That don't even make sense to me. You said that you didn't do the appraisal, but you acted on it.
I just don't, you got no drafted blueprint, you got no project cost analysis, and you're comparing apples to oranges. My goodness, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Richard E. Waldwood, Hurst Lane, and I should mention I'm here speaking for myself, not the city. So, Judge Baker, magistrates, thank you for the opportunity to come here and address the court today. As elected officials, it's confusing sometimes and difficult to compare the voices of our current constituents and the voices of our Logan Countyans who are not even born yet. I feel it's our duty to tend to the current needs and requirements of our citizens, but it's also our duty to look well beyond our own tenures and for many generations to come. I feel like what we have before us is an opportunity to make a better Logan County a better place to live, work, and play for many, many generations. And I'm here to encourage you to look current and look forward and move forward with this park project full steam ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Dale Givens, come forward, please. How are you, sir?
Doing well, how are y'all?
Well.
Thank y'all, each and every one of you, appreciate everything you do. Talking about a survey, did a survey about this park.
Yes.
I did a survey too.
Okay.
I did a Chandler's Chapel survey. In all honesty, I didn't have a yes person, period, in Chandler's Chapel that said they wanted to spend this kind of money on this. That's my survey. I didn't spend $25,000. I just spent time talking to people.
Understood.
And I understand what Johnson said and the rest of them. It'd be nice to get the input from the public. Now, we've got a school board member sitting right here, and they're running into money problems because of the school. Same thing there. I found out about the meeting 2 hours before it happened. Got cleaned up, halfway cleaned up. I'm not too cleaned up as today, but I went to it. Nobody was there. 8, 10 people. Progress. My ex-father-in-law told me years ago, progress is something, the price we got to pay in the end. It hurts. So I'm just telling you, I thank each and every one of you for it. If the park goes through, I'm sure some of my kids, grandkids, great-grandkids will be there. But you'll hear me complain the first time, and I'm talking to somebody that does ball, you'll hear me complain the first time they have a tournament held on Sunday and keeps these kids out of church.
I agree with that 100%.
Our Lord Jesus Christ is a whole lot more important than that park.
Agreed.
So,
agreed with that 100%, Dale.
Not to be negative, just letting you know.
Understand.
God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Anyone else like to speak?
I'm like a lot of people in here. I'm not against it, and, you know, I think it'd be great. And just what he said about church and stuff, I agree 100%. But I can tell you, as a traveling umpire, there's one-day tournaments on Saturdays, and they play on Saturdays, and Sunday they go to church.
Amen.
It's just because you're going to have a park don't mean you're going to have a Saturday and Sunday tournament and everybody's going to play ball on Sunday.
Right.
They have one-day tournaments but going to church again is a personal preference. I go to church as much as I can. Me and my wife got saved, baptized about 2 years ago, trying to change my life. But I am saying, just like John, you know, my love is for kids, to give them an opportunity to play. And to give an example, we had a 12-year-old kid that's probably never played baseball before in his life,
played on a team. The last game of the year, the tournament we had, the kid got a hit, the only hit he had all year long. Everybody, you seen the picture of the fans. Everybody stood and cheered for that kid. He got a trophy. That kid will remember that moment the rest of his life. That's what I'm trying to provide. I need it now. I know what y'all are doing is great, but my need is now, and the help I can get is fine, but I'm not going to stop. I've told people, if I could call the governor, if I can get his telephone number, I'm going to call him. And if you can give it to me, I will call him, man. I'm not bashful, because if you seen what I've done at the park, I mean, and I have to say to y'all, I haven't had nobody say no. Nobody's told me no on what I'm trying to do. And I understand what y'all are going through dealing with this park. And I'm going to say another thing. The family that's selling y'all this park, I know they've called a lot of slack, but I'm going to tell you what, I work for them part-time, and just, if I need something for park and rec, or personally, all I got to do is call that family. They provide 2 fields that I take care of for kids to practice on. It's not just for their kids. They provide 2 fields for anybody in the county, anybody around. I mean, teams from out of county is coming to practice on. And they've caught a lot of slack because of they're selling you the land. You know, they're business people. But that company, I wish they could just write down what they do for the community. I mean, they help me a lot. I don't ask them much, because I know if I need something, I can call. But again, I mean, I appreciate everything, and I'm just trying to do something that's probably a little bit separate. But, you know, I'm like Jonathan, we got an existing park. Another thing is, he asked me a question years ago about, or last time I was up here maybe, about who's going to maintain it when I leave. Hopefully I'm setting an example, and there is some good parents behind me they're trying to do more too. So once we get this stuff fixed, it's like the park now, I'm maintaining it. The city is doing a great job, because I told them when I take my signs off the fence, Little League's done. They mow it, they keep it cleaned up, they keep the trash picked up, the place looks good, it's looked good for 2 years. That's what I want this other park to do. Same thing for girls. They're doing a great job with maintaining it, but if we don't maintain something, it ain't gonna matter anyways. It's just gonna go downhill. And that's what's happening to this ball field. But I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
Anyone else?
Good morning.
Sir.
Judge Baker, all the magistrates, thank you for this time to allow me to speak. I want to first off thank you guys for, y'all do, all the committees take care of the employees with the pay. I know that's been discussed, I know from experience, so I want to thank you guys for that. I'm not here I'm for the park, not necessarily for the park that's being presented at this time. Don't know a lot about it. That's my only concern as a taxpayer. You know, I'd asked a question, I thought about it on the way in this morning, I said, what can I say that could ask? If I gave, I'm just saying, as a grants are a great thing, but grants can also be an evil. You know, I've seen it over the last 20 years to where our county, we had grants back in 07, 08, they were great. They dried up. From those grants, we had to maintain those grants. I'm just saying, in other counties I've seen, they get grants, so grants are a good thing. But I asked the question, if I gave everybody in this room that's a taxpayer, most people are from here, if I gave you $1 million farm, and I said for the next 10 years, I'm going to give you the farm, but you have to maintain it, the buildings, everything. You go and get back with me in 30 days. That'd be the question I would ask, because I think that's a great question, because I'd have to go home myself personally and say, can I afford this farm that's being given to me? I've got buildings I have to maintain. Can my budget personally, as a personal person, take care of that farm? If I can, then I would come back and I'd say yes. If I couldn't, I'd just come back and say no. That's the only question that I'm looking forward to asking this project. I think it's just a lot of unknown from what I've heard this morning. Maybe moving forward, I'm sure you're saying there's something coming out in 45 days or so. I think that's a positive for the community that maybe we can have another committee, a hearing, maybe after hours, from what I'm hearing also, that the public can come and speak their piece on that and learn from this project. That's all I'm asking. And so, thank you all for your time.
And to answer that, Scotty, sorry, Scotty, to answer that, and we have been kind of quiet on the engineering side. I'm not going to deny that because we don't know what they're coming back to us with. The plan is in 45 days to a few months is the architects will be here after hours. We've asked for after hours after all this. And let me apologize for the public hearing being today versus at night. We had already scheduled it when we started hearing that people were wanting it at night, and without rescheduling, because we had it in the paper, it would take time and time and time, which we kept pushing it out. So let me go ahead and close that. After 45 days, the engineers will be here. They will lay out, it will be at night, it'll be laid out where people can come by and look and see what we're doing, what our opinions, what their opinions are, what they're thinking. They're not gonna have any prices at that point because they need to still do a little bit of work in order to get the prices, because they need to know the terrain they're dealing with. Actually, they have to get all the criteria, the engineering part of it done. We understand that, but that will be coming. You will be hearing more about it as soon as we get a firm date set.
Okay. Thanks y'all for your time.
Thank you, Scott. Last call. Yes, ma'am. Or sorry. My apologies. Yes, sir. Be careful.
My name is Joe Levinowicz. I live at 309 Lakeside Place. I came into the county around 1987, and between 1987 and 89, I purchased the first 6 lots in Whitaker Little Cliff, and I purchased the road leading into there. In my deed, I maintained the road into Little Cliff. There's been some movements to try to get that turned over to a county road. I'm formally taking the position.
Sir, with all due respect, does this involve the park that we're talking about? It does?
Yes.
Okay.
Some people want to make that road on the way in a county road. And my position is I'm not going to allow that.
Yes, sir, but this hearing at this particular time is about the park we're talking about. It's not about road. You'll need to talk to your magistrate about that.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm satisfied, he's satisfied.
Okay, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, he just missed the citizens participation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got it turned out.
With that being said, is there anyone else that would like to? If not, I need an acknowledgement that we had a public hearing.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second. Judge, can I have just a moment to, because I know a lot of people that are in attendance are here, and a lot of things going on about tax and tax rates and, meeting the needs. I just, this might be a good time just to point out a couple of things that I'd like everybody to know. I have said over and over and over again, not only here but on the radio, the fundamentals of government is government 101 is to protect and keep the public safe. I mean, there's a lot of things we do and are responsible for, but the safety of its people are at the base of that. And I think we do that well. I've had the privilege of sitting here for 19 years. I've had great people to work with. I've had different jailers. I've had different sheriffs. I've had different judges and different department heads. And I think everybody's in agreement that that is what we should do, and we do it well, and that cost goes up every year. It's no different than your budget at home. There's nothing in your budget that probably goes down. It goes up. And employee cost is one of the biggest of those. Everybody talks about taxes, and I'm for this park as long as my taxes don't go up. We're not even allowed to tax you. You know, county government is not allowed to do that. Now, we do have the opportunity of changing the tax rate that the state says, hey, you've got this rate and you've got one of three options. And it's worth noting that we have never, in 18 of those 19 years, have had an increase in the tax rate. Just the opposite. They have either stayed flat or go down. And there's a radio show that I did, and we went into great detail about that. But you have to ask yourself, how do you do that? How does your budget go up every year, but yet you do not take a tax increase? How does that happen? Well, it's Economics 101, and not everybody's great at that. I can't draw. I envy people who have the ability to write and draw. I do not have that ability. But the Lord did bless me with the ability of basic math. Keep it on 7th grade level, I'm good. Okay? So how are we able to fund that? Well, it's pretty obvious that we had new tax basis or an increase in tax basis. So when the PBA, State Department, looks at my property and says, Thomas, your property's worth $100,000 today. And 3 years later, they come back and say it's worth $105,000. I paid a little more taxes. Even though my rate stayed the same, my basis went up. And attracting new development, whether it's a residential home, somebody, I've heard in this court member that somebody's built an addition to their house, guess what's going to happen? That guy who invested in his home is going to be taxed a little bit on that. And he understands the cost of that, you know. So we had, a 0.3% deduct in our tax rate. Our increase is only based on revenue. So when you heard us take a 4% increase last year, that 4% increase is in revenue only, not in the rate. That drove the tax rate down. And that's what we are striving to do. If you don't invest in the future, as Mr. Ewald pointed out, your tax basis is going to be driven down. Properties are going to get dilapidated. People are going to move out because they want amenities. Yeah, everybody loves the sheriff's department, but nobody wants to call them. I hope I don't have to ever call Steve, you know. Yeah, we got a great jail facility, and Josh does a great job, but I hope I don't ever have to talk to him outside this courtroom, okay? And I can go on and on. 911 is fantastic, okay? My neighbor's house just got struck by lightning, burnt. 911 took care of it. People were there within 3 minutes, okay? So we invest in those things, but they come at a cost. Our cost of living increase last year was over $200,000 in employee contribution. Just the cost of living. That money has to come from somewhere. As Mr. Gibbons, I think, pointed out, we don't print money. We can't make money. We don't print money, okay? So we have to invest, and we want people to invest in this community, add on to their existing home, build a new home, bring a new job opportunity here so somebody can get employed so they contribute to the tax basis. Do I have the magic ball to say your taxes aren't going to go up? I don't, but I can tell you all they can go up is in revenue. And if our tax basis will continue to go up, even though we take a 4% increase in tax, it should drive your rate down. So I know everybody's fixing to get their tax bill in about 3 months. I encourage everybody to look at every single line item, not just your total, and compare it to what your basis was last year and what county government charged you. As Darrell pointed out on his watershed property. Look at that rate for that watershed property, okay? You know, you may pay more, but the rate may have been the same, your assessment may have gone up. So I just encourage you to do that. Don't look at your bottom number and then come out at pitchforks and torches and say county government increased your tax. You know, your school tax rate may have gone up. What we see more than not is your basis went up, and the biggest increase was because your property went from 100,000 to 110,000. By the way, if you sell your property, it may be a property that's assessed at 100,000 and you bought it for $500,000, your new tax basis is $500,000. Okay, they don't even have to assess it. They go by property sale. So I always keep that in mind as well. So I hope we don't have to increase it. I hope it stays level, decreases. I could almost all but guarantee the park would have nothing to do with that. If we have to increase it, it's because there is a need to do fundamental government, which are jails, 911 system, and the sheriff's department. 3 of them are represented right over here, and they are always first priority in county budgets.
I think it's worth mentioning too that the tax, whenever we talk about the assessments, the state actually sets where we have to go, right?
Right, we got 3 options.
Well, I mean, as far as like, whenever the PVA is doing his tax assessments, they say, hey, the state says, hey, we need $600 million or whatever it is in tax assessments, make it happen.
In a perfect world, you should be reassessed every 4 years is what the state law says. And Tim can speak better to that than me, but that's what he told me.
With that being said, I have a acknowledgement and a second. Is there any more discussion? Not roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
What are we voting on?
The acknowledgement that we had a hearing.
The acknowledgement that we had the hearing.
Yes, sir.
I acknowledge that.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. With that being said, I've been asked to take a short break. Let's take 15 minutes.
You know what's really funny? I'm 11 months, they flocked in. I said, what is this? They do, they think it's.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's move on with new business. Start with item number 2, discuss the intent to finance specifications for the Sheriff's Department Vehicle Lease Program. Sheriff, you want to come and speak a little bit about this?
Oh, glad we had that break. So, I've been working with the Sternberg Enterprises, and we've came up with a number that I'm comfortable with and the number of vehicles to start with. So that was the number I wanted to bring to court today. That'll be 10 Durangos and 1 truck. So it'll be 11 vehicles in total. And we are working on creating our list of the 11 vehicles that that they will take and replacing those. And we'll start with the highest miles and get rid of those. And again, once we get the vehicles in place and everything done, we will take the vehicles that we're currently using and going to keep and move those down the line a little bit to other needs. So the mileage will be, these vehicles are going to be road deputy vehicles only. So that will really bring up the fleet greatly.
Motion to approve, intent to lease.
Second.
I have a motion and a second.
I appreciate it.
Is there any further?
Option 1.
Option 1, yes. I hate it,
Okay,
they put that in
thank
there.
you. I had it wrote down here. We also,
That
with
was
that,
in
we
the
need to
truck part. I was
schedule,
like, I just need plain simple.
with that, we need to schedule the hearing for that also. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Olivia, we can get it in the first meeting in August, correct?
It's 3 weeks away.
So that would be August the 12th.
No, option 1.
Okay.
It's the cheaper version.
We gotta have another one of what we just had.
Yes.
Yeah.
You think there'll be a lot of opposition from the public about you getting 11 new vehicles?
Well, I'm prepared. Battle that if there is.
He's been building gear.
So I have a motion and a second for the approval of this, plus to schedule the hearing for August the 12th. Is there any more discussion?
Nope. Good job.
Not roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilka,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
No.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. August 8th.
Moving on to item number 3, approve the agreement with the Commonwealth of Kentucky Office of Homeland Security for the Kentucky 911 Services Board Grant Fund in the amount of $118,091.31. This $118,000 is going towards the purchase of a new phone system. It's not what we had asked for, but it's a big chunk closer to where we were.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept this money. Any more discussion? Roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilka,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Item number 4, hold the first reading of 25-1040-01, an ordinance relating to posting of a bond for obtaining a permit prior to the construction projects involved in the encroachment of the county right-of-way or tunneling underneath the county roads. We have added language in this. I sent this out to you guys Friday. It's added language to this ordinance that basically prevents contractors from putting their own driveways in without bonding it first. We've added the language that contractors such as home builders cannot build their own driveways without bonding. We've had a few that have taken it upon themselves to put their own driveways in, and it has turned out to be a disaster.
Yes. The road department was having to correct this for days on end.
Exactly.
That's totally unacceptable because that's what happened on Query Road. So I'm really grateful. I wrote the original for this, and then Joe updated it, and I think you all have added the new thing, which I'm all for. He said, you might. I said, no. Whatever will make it more palatable for everyone.
Right.
Because nobody should have a contractor do that to anybody again.
Absolutely.
I have a question
Yes, ma'am.
about the utilities. It says that utilities shall maintain the proof of general liability insurance. Of course, I'm speaking
Yes, yeah.
from a water department's standpoint of, we do have general liability, we have 3 meters.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, when it says that we have to post a $25,000 bond with the clerk's office, is that like South Logan, East Logan?
Yes.
I mean, when we do I call the lady, Linda Markland has our insurance. It's gonna be on the back of the water department, say South Logan. She told me that they will be anywhere, the bonds will be anywhere between $400 and $500 per bore per year on South Logan water. And that, I mean, like, we go under a lot of roads.
Right, and I understand that. You probably need to speak with her over this, because I don't think it's going to be you should be able to, much like others, do one bond that covers everything throughout the year.
I wrote it down when she said it, and that's what she said. It was $400 to $500 per bore per year.
Chris, you want to help me with this?
Well, Jamie and I talked a little bit about this, and I mean, it does need to be clarified with the insurance company, because obviously you're only doing one bore at a time.
Right.
Too. But I think what the county is trying to obtain, at least from the utility companies, is one annual bond that covers all encroachments for maintenance and repairs.
Right. It's no different than the bonds that we have on treasurers or anyone else. It should be one bond should cover the entire year.
I'm looking for that. I thought that was in here. I'm looking for it right now.
Now, what this ordinance does, and Jamie and I sort of want to make sure, I'm saying all this out loud just to get affirmation on this. From a contractor's perspective, if South Logan puts a project out to bid to do line extensions or line replacements, they themselves would have to come to the county and put up a separate standalone relationship between the contractor and the county for encroachments on road work, which oftentimes the engineer submits that, and then we put that requirement into the specs. But I think from your perspective, the county's looking for an annual bond, and I think the state does this as well, but Jamie wasn't aware of whether or not they have that in.
We didn't do that for the state.
Okay.
And so I guess I'm saying is it might be worth making sure if this is, it's worth checking to make sure all of our public and private utilities, I'm assuming this covers private as well,
You mean like phone?
keep that actively on file with the judge's office. Yes.
So you're talking about like one bond to cover, I mean, like, we've done like 6 boards the last,
Yeah. But you're only doing one at a time.
one at a time. And it's not the 3/4 inch.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
So
not like a
you're
6 or
just,
7 inch
anytime you're in the right of way, it's protecting, that bond is to protect the county from any damage that your operation
There's
does.
a sentence in here that says the county judge may issue an annual general permit to utilities operating in the county.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, I was going to say, I know it was somewhere in
It's in the middle
here.
of, the second page, it's paragraph 1, and then it's kind of like, not in that first section, but
I said the county judge executive may issue,
an annual. I think that's supposed to be an annual, not and.
There's a few
Annual
typos
general
with
permit.
Yes, for utilities operating. And I can do that for any of the local utilities. I don't mind doing that for any local
So this
utility
is the
that's
first reading, so we-
established
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Logan County.
Need to get those ironed out for the second.
Good point, Jamie, to bring up.
I wanted to, I guess I want to direct this question to Elizabeth, because I'm all about keeping things simple, and I guess I'm a little concerned about having this subject and the utilities tied into the same ordinance. I just wonder if that's going to create either confusion or oversight, just for the sake of, because it's apples and oranges to a degree. I mean,
Well, I have not been, let me just, firstly, I haven't really been involved in this. However, my understanding is this is amending an existing ordinance,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So right now, it's already intertwined, so I mean, I guess what I would,
we're adding language related to driveway construction.
Correct.
which, that's what I guess I'm getting
But,
at.
well,
Makes me wonder
and I
if
see where the
it's
tie-in is,
separate.
because if you do that, you're on county right-of-way.
True.
So therefore, that's where it falls into this ordinance. I mean, that's the way I seen it, and I think Joe and I spoke about it, and that seemed like logical to us. Because you're in county right-of-way doing this work, what's the difference between someone, a contractor building a house versus a utility boring under the road? I mean, and all this is established by, we've had some contractors that put their own driveways in, and just, as I said, made an exact.
No, I totally get it. Don't get me wrong. I guess I just wonder about, like, when the next quarry road issue happens and you want to make that quick search for, like, well, this is why you can't do it. Are you going to sort of overlook the reference because, because it's sort of, this ordinance is really driven on the utility side of things.
Right.
With the small few references about driveway. And I just wonder, I'm not lobbying for it, it just makes me concerned that.
So you saying we should have two separate ones?
Well, the other thing you could do is, since you're looking at amending it, is maybe kind of tweak this with other amendments to have like a paragraph about contractors and a paragraph about utilities. I think maybe that's what, so you can reference a specific subsection of the ordinance depending on which situation you're in.
That may be the easiest,
But that didn't have
actually.
utilities on it when I first read that. So I'm perfectly fine with adding that.
I don't think the
We could have
language,
two
I don't think the
separate-
language would ever change, it would just be the location of the language.
Yeah, I guess if, to address what he's saying, if you wanted to do that, you could kind of separate those two in the same ordinance
I don't think it's a problem. I just worry about, just making that, you do a word search for something, whatever, however you search through our ordinances, Are you going to miss one or the other because they're intertwined as opposed to being standalone?
Would it be wiser to keep them separate? That's what Chris is asking.
I mean, I guess from a legal perspective, I think it's going to be binding either way because, the language is there. As far, I think what his concern, I guess, is like trying to enforce it in the future. Is that what you're?
Just honestly, once we pass this, just
Not have to deal with it again?
just bearing in mind, like, that ordinance there addresses
both,
but they're really apples and oranges,
I think it's really just whatever you all want to do. I think it's fine the way it is, but if you want.
As you said, we could possibly take that amended language and move it maybe as a
That makes sense.
subsection of it.
Yeah, I do.
I don't see why a utility company who does like what Jane is doing has to put up a bond for that. That should be covered under their general liability, and they issue us as additional insured. And we require utility companies to have that on file at all times if they're doing work in Logan County.
So you're saying it should be
I
separate?
don't know why they would have to go get a bond every single time they did a bore, Now, we're talking about a 3/4 inch bore. Somebody putting a 36-inch pipe underneath it, totally different subject matter. So do we need to start identifying, to,
Line sizes?
hey, if it's 2 inches or less, your general liability on file listing us as additional insured is significant. I don't know, I'm not in that realm of things, that's what you do every day, but, I do understand contractors, and they may hire, just like East Logan did, to go across that 4-lane, was that yesterday?
Repairing yesterday,
Somebody would get in there and dig, and they mentioned a contractor that I'd never heard of, and I guarantee you, they had a bond with the state of Kentucky to do that tunneling underneath the 4-lane highway. Like you say, it's kind of comparing apples and oranges, we're lumping in this contractor who did a stupid thing, and,
I just don't want it to happen.
and trying to create something and comparing them to a utility company who's doing 6 3/4 inch pipes through a road a month or a week or whatever.
Phil, can we look at this to possibly separate the two? Thomas is right, and her question was right on.
No, I think everybody's on the same page, it's just how we present.
Well, we had the first reading, we can take out, on this particular part, I guess we can take out what we don't want to be in this. And then, I guess,
That's
It's the
absolutely
same
fine.
ordinance, you can still continue on with your first reading then.
Yeah.
All right,
Make
motion to
changes.
approve.
Change it.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. And we'll get with Joe when he gets
Yeah.
back. And
Sounds like it just
we'll
needs a
go-
little work.
Yeah, I mean, I think the language is correct, it's just the placement of the language. All right, with that being said, I have a motion and a
Appreciate y'all's
second.
work on that.
No further discussion, roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Item number 5, approve the agreement with Scott and Murphy for the construction of a bridge on Liberty Church Road. This is just approving the contract. We've already approved everything else with it. We just have to approve the contract to be signed.
Does this modify, did we pull out some of the cost to buy something direct?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We bought the beam, at the last meeting, we approved to buy the beams. That way we could save having to pay tax on them. That should be, in front of you should be the new contract number.
457,000.
Yes, that's it, because it was way higher than that. Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
That is with the money for the price of
I
the
make a
beams.
motion to approve the agreement with Scott Murphy for the construction of the bridge on Liberty Church Road.
Have a motion and a second. If no more discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't, did you say yes?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Crawford,
Yes.
yes. Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Item number 6, approve the agreement with Scott and Murphy for the widening of the bridge on Montgomery Road. This
Motion
is
to-
the 80-20 money split.
Second.
I have a motion by Jamie, second by Jason. Any further discussion? Roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Did you hear that, people?
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Heard a slap.
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Item number 7, approve the agreement with ComCare Inc. for ambulance service for fiscal year 25-26. This is just approving the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, no discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Item number 8, approve the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA, state and local financial recovery funding expenditure fiscal approval for Penny Ryle Electric in the amount of $66,207.20.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. No discussion? Roll call?
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Oh, yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. I believe that's it for new business. Do we have anything for post agenda?
I just got a question, and I don't know if Elizabeth can answer this, because it may be something directed at Joe, but I was telling him earlier, Guy Candler Road, and I'm talking from work perspective here, we're working on a project to where they're going to construct a new approach of that road. So it'd be adding roughly 1,000 feet of new road, but then take away 500 feet of the old road. This is in conjunction with the church.
I remember all that.
Yeah.
Duncan's Chapel Church. Is that where you're talking about?
I don't remember which church.
Guy
it is.
Candler, that would be the Mennonite church.
I believe it is Mennonite Church. We want to, what is the protocol, I guess, to sort of get, I know we have to have a road hearing. I know that ultimately that's going to be a step. But obviously, we want to make sure that everything's in check and acceptable before going too far.
Right.
Is there any guidance on what, should we just let that be a Joe question, or is it just a Joe and Pee Wee? Like if Pee Wee's good with it, and then from a legal perspective of the transfer of
That's gonna
new
be
right of way and old right of way, is that something to get opinions from those two on?
gut reaction would be yes, that would be what you need to do. I mean, is there anything else you?
You know, of course, P, we would have to go through and look at it and say, yes, this meets standards, this is, we're accepting this.
But
And
this
then
is-
as far as the other side, Joe would have to take care of
Well,
that.
this is sort of pre-construction is right, I guess is what I'm getting at is, we want to make sure we got everything
Yeah.
sort of,
Well, I mean, you know, if they build a road and then all of a sudden the landowner says, no, we're not gonna give the money, then that's on them, that's,
I know it's a little bit out of protocol and order there, but it's
Yeah.
one of those things, you don't want to incur all the expense and
Right.
everything, and then, oh, no, we're not for that. Or no.
I agree.
So will the entrance now just be the entrance to the church, and then they're gonna put something off of the road?
I can't remember, it's gonna sweep out and be a better line of sight, intersection.
I mean, now you just go right down by the church.
Yes.
So that'd be something we need to get fixed too on our end.
Right. There's a lot of little
Can you
steps,
add a
but I don't
road
think it's anything we can.
pending, can you add a road pending that it, contingent upon that it meets the county standards and approval?
Yes.
Well,
I've done that twice.
I guess that's what we do is like, we do have a road hearing and then we don't add it until it's either.
What's the
A,
deed
B,
stuff? Yeah.
Meet specs and the deed has been turned over.
So I guess if
Once
they,
that's done, then it's
I guess they need some sort of commitment from us, we could do it contingent upon all those things.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree with that. All right.
We'll get that paperwork
Okay.
in front of everybody.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Let's go.